What's going on, guys? It's your boy Fred, and welcome back to another edition of Life with Fred. This is going to be the Thanksgiving edition. So for the next several videos, you're going to see how I prepare my Thanksgiving meal. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and start with something real easy, real simple, and get this cranberry sauce on the stove. All right, let's go. All right, so on the stove here, I have a saucepan with 2 cups of water in it. We're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of sugar. That's 1. And 2. So we're going to bring that to a boil and let that sugar dissolve. Alright, so while we wait for that sugar to dissolve, we're going to go ahead and get started on the next dish. And reason we're doing that is because this video series is already going to be long. And to be honest, when we cook a Thanksgiving dinner at home, we don't cook one dish at a time. We could get as much started as we possibly can. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next and get these potatoes in the oven for the sweet potato pie. Alright, so the oven has already been heating to 350 for like the last 20 minutes. So I got 5 nice sized potatoes here on a pan. I'm going to go ahead and get them roasting in the oven. The reason I roast mine in the oven, I do it both ways. Roast them in the oven or boil them on the stove. And I like them better in the oven because it don't have all that excess water. And it brings out a better flavor out of the potato. Again, keeping this train rolling, we're going to go ahead and get started on that peach cobbler. So I got 2 cans of sliced peaches here, and then to that we're going to add some cinnamon and some nutmeg. Here's the second can of peaches. Now I don't have exact measurements on the cinnamon or the nutmeg, but you're going to season it to taste, or in my case I'll season it to eye. Alright, so I'm going to let that boil. I'm going to add a stick of butter to that and let that boil, and based on the smell I'll be able to tell if I need more. Alright, so we got that water and sugar boiling. The sugar has completely dissolved. So to that, we're going to go ahead and add about 2 cups of frozen cranberries and let them bring that to a boil. Alright, and I'm making 2 batches of this cranberry sauce because one of my relatives is having Thanksgiving dinner at their house, and then my mom, I don't eat cranberry sauce. Then my mom wants some cranberry sauce. She always loved to have cranberry sauce. So last year I made cranberry sauce fresh for the first time, and she fell in love with it. So she asked me to make her some again this year. So 1 batch is going to my mom's house, and the other batch is going to our cousin's house. So hope they enjoy it. Okay, so 1 batch of the cranberry sauce has come to a nice boil. So what I'm going to do is, so that the rest of these berries can burst, I'm going to turn the eye down for a little while. Meanwhile, the second batch is looking like what's going on. They're just taking a nice little hot bath. I don't know why the temperature on the 2 eyes is so different today, but that's this crazy stove of mine. The peaches on the other hand, for the peach cobbler, they smell really good. They're going really nicely. So you're going to let this thicken up a little bit. Alright, so last step for the cranberry sauce is cornstarch. Now the reason you add cornstarch is because you like that jelly. If you don't like the jelly cranberry sauce and you just want sauce, then you can just leave it the way it is. But if you like it to gel, then you add a tablespoon of cornstarch to get it to gel up. Alright, so you mix in the cranberry sauce so that you mix in the cornstarch into the cranberry sauce so that it can thicken up. I'm going to bring that back to a boil. Bringing it to a boil will activate that cornstarch and make it thick. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and butchered my turkey. So what I have in this pot is I have the 2 wings and the back. The wing, what I'm going to do with this is make my stock for my dressing. Excuse me. So the wings are going to actually go in the dressing. The back, I'm looking for more so for the flavor. I'll probably take as much meat off that back as I can, but the back bone definitely will not go in the dressing. And I'll show you a little bit later what I'm going to do with the rest of the turkey. So to this turkey, I'm going to go ahead and add some black pepper and some seasoning salt. And also off camera, I cut up my vegetables. So as far as the vegetables that I'm adding, I have 6 stalks of celery, 1 bell pepper, and 1 onion, all chopped up. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in. And we're gonna let it do what it do. Alright, so in this pot I have the turkey leg and thigh. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and add some seasoning salt and some black pepper. And we're gonna let this boil. What this is for the greens. So while this is boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the greens, wash them, and by the time I get done with all that, it should be nice and ready. The meat should almost be falling off the bone before you add your greens in. Alright, so now in the crock pot, what we're going to do is go ahead and cook the turkey breast. I had to change up my plan a little bit. I was going to roast this in the oven and put my ham in the crock pot like I normally do, but my ham this year is a little too big for this crock pot. So to the turkey, I'm going to go ahead and do the same seasonings with the seasoned salt and the black pepper. I'm also going to add a little poultry seasoning. And a little onion powder. And some garlic powder. Now notice I did not put any water in it. So basically, if you are familiar with a crock pot and how they cook, when you put the top on it, the sweating process of the cooking is gonna be more than enough water or juice. Anything more may dry it out. Alright, so we're gonna let this go for probably about 8 hours. I got it set to low. I'll check it in a few hours. If it seems to be doing well, I'll go ahead and let it cook until I get ready to go to bed. Time right now is, it's about 4 p.m. So we're gonna go ahead and let it cook until somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. tonight. Okay, so the sweet potatoes are finally out of the oven. They've been in there for about 1.5 hours, and they're fork tender. And if you can really see that, you see that little shiny stuff that's coming out of there? That's the nice sweet potato essence, or whatever you want to call it. You got a little bit of it on the pan there. You don't lose a whole lot when you roast them. And like I said, it's a little bit on the pan down there. So what we're going to do is let these cool off, and then we're going to cut them open and get the goodness out of them. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started on this lemon meringue pie. So we're going to start with 1.5 cups of water. And to that we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. And then we are going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of flour. I should have sifted that in. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk. Okay, so we got that going. Now to that we are going to add the juice and the zest. Okay, so while we wait for that to boil, we're gonna go ahead and put the pie crust in the deep dish pie crust. We'll go ahead and put that in the oven and let that bake. And then over here on the other side, I am going to go ahead and whip up the egg whites so that they are nice and fluffy and ready to go on top of it when this is done. All right, so when you are doing your egg whites, you want to make sure that you separate the egg whites and the egg yolks and do a good job of make sure there's no egg yolk in the egg whites. Because if there's yolk in the whites, then they won't fluff up the way they're supposed to. So I got 4 egg whites in the KitchenAid. I'm gonna go ahead and whip that. Okay, I'm tearing up stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and whip those up in the KitchenAid mixer. All right, so to the stand mixer we have 3 sticks of butter, and to that we're gonna go ahead and add 3 cups of sugar and cream that together. All right, that's nice and fluffy. So we are going to go ahead and add 6 eggs. We're going to put in 1 at a time. And I'm making a couple different cakes this holiday, so we are going to do this same step a couple different times. So this first one I'm making is going to be a traditional pound cake. Then I'm going to do a sakatimi cake and a 7-Up cake. The only variation is that for the 7-Up cake, there's no milk, there's 7-Up, obviously. And then as far as eggs, there's 5 instead of 6. And then with the sakatimi cake, there's 7 eggs. And you also take some of the batter and add just a little bit of cinnamon and pecans and some other stuff to make this swirl that goes in the middle. Alright, so I'm not going to show you all these steps for each cake since they're all pretty much the same. Just going to show you that. Alright, so we got all the eggs mixed in there. I'm going to go ahead and add about a teaspoon of vanilla. Or probably a little bit more than a teaspoon. Let that mix in. And then we're going to add a cup of milk. Like I said, this is pretty much the base of all 3 of the pound cakes. And then from there we are going to add in 3 cups of flour. I'll be back. Alright, just in time for the pound cake to go in the oven, we got the lemon meringue pie. Don't laugh at my meringue. I know I did a terrible job. This was my first time ever doing it. So this is how it turned out. But it looks really good. It smells even good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and about wrap it up for tonight. And then we'll pick it back up tomorrow. So the turkey is still in the crock pot. And unfortunately it hadn't cooked all these hours. Because when I plugged up the KitchenAid, I unplugged the crock pot and didn't realize it. So I have that turned up to high. So before I go to bed within the next hour or 2, that will probably be done. The lemon meringue pie is done, as you saw before. The pound cake is out of the oven. Right now in the oven I have the sakatimi cake and the 7-Up cake. Those got about another half hour. The stock for the dressing is done. The peaches for the peach cobbler is done. The meat for the greens is done. Excuse me, I just got to pick and wash the greens. The cranberry sauce is done. And I don't remember what else right now that I'm supposed to be cooking. As you can hear, the dishwasher is going in the background. I've already cleaned the kitchen so I can start fresh tomorrow. Again, the potatoes for the sweet potato pies are already roasted. And we're just going to jump right back in this tomorrow and finish this meal up so everybody can eat. And before I get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and close this video out before I forget again, like I do so often with videos. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below of what you like. If you want a specific recipe, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until tomorrow,